Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Arif Raugir. My ID is 584. Welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to present a comprehensive review paper titled Security Challenges and Attack Vector in Modern Steganography. This paper is authored by Sheikh Thanbir and MD Maruf Hassan sir and others. It was presented at the 5th IEEE International Conference on AI in Cybersecurity, ICAIC 2026. In this presentation, I will cover the core concept, research gap, methodologies, and the major attack vector in modern steganography. Now, let's talk about the foundational background. What exactly what exactly is steganography? To understand this, we have to look at the etymology. The word is derived from two uh, ancient Greek words. First one is the staganos, which means covered, and the second one is the graphia. Second one is graphia, which means writing. Therefore, it literally means covered writing. Uh, we often confuse cryptography and steganography. Let me clarify the difference. As it is the vital for this study, cryptography scramble a message into ciphertext. It tells the word, I'm hiding something important. This immediately attracts hacker. On the other hand, steganography concealed or covered the very existence of the communication. It hides a secret message inside an innocent looking digital media, cancel a carrier or cover image. To open an eye, it looks like a regular file, but underneath it carries a classified data. This classified data, this archive ultimate confidentiality without raising any suspicion. The worldwide to Tim Berners-Lee once said, data is a precious thing and will last longer than the system themselves. It perfectly highlight why protective data implicity is so critical. If we look at history, steganography is not new. In ancient Greece, r- rurals would have, if we look at history, steganography is not new. In ancient Greece, rural would shape of head of a trusted shape. If we look at history, steganography is not new. In ancient Greece, rurals would shape the head of a trusted slave, tattoo the secret message on the scalp, and wait for the hair to grow back before sending the slave across enemy lines. During World War II, spies heavily used invisible ink. Microdots were the chemical formulation to sync text to size of a single period. In the modern era, the mathematical foundation was formally conceptualized in famous book Steganographia. Today, in our digital ecosystem, steganography can apply to text, image, audio, and video cover. However, this paper focuses deeply on video steganography. Why? Because video file have massive data capacity, complex multi-frame sequence, structure and high perceptual redundancy. This means we can hide massive amount of data inside a video without changing any without causing any uh, visible distortion. In next slide, I will show you the research gap of this paper. In research gap, the exact limitation of existing technology that motivate the comprehensive review. At first, I mentioned the detection risk suspicious topic. When we use pure cryptography, the network packet contain the randomized high entropy encryption string. Modern firewall algorithm and deep packet inspection tool easily flag these as the suspicious anomalies. These draw active targeted brute force attack from the adversaries. And the second one is that we have a classic capacity versus quality trade-off. In text and image steganography, the physical space is highly restricted. If a researcher tries to embed a large payload, say high resolution file, inside a standard JPG image, it directly violates the visual threshold. The image quality degraded, pixel becomes destroyed, and the hidden data becomes mathematically obvious. And most importantly, at the robustness issues is most traditional embedding scenes are incredibly failure in the real world. When you upload a video or photo to social media or send it over an network, the system automatically apply to logic compression filter to save bandwidth. Traditional method embedded data in a way that this compression entirely script a way to corrupt the hidden secret messages. The same failure happen when the mirror is transmission channel noise. Lastly, there is a distinct of lack of standardization in current lecture. Different researchers base their algorithm on different custom data, meaning there was no uh, benchmarking framework that informally evaluate diverse threat and metrics across all domain. This paper bridges exact the gap of this in this research. Next slide, I will talk about the problem statement. In problem statement, the central technical challenge is to maximize embedding capacity while preserving the imperceptibility and ensuring a robustness to channel manipulation and automated staganolysis. In adversarial vulnerability and high risk domain, the absolute fundamental challenges modern steganography is maintaining a delicate multivariable balance between the three conflicting pillars: capacity, in perceptibility, and the robustness. If we increase capacity, our imperceptibility drops. If we try to make it highly robust against attack, our capacity shrink. Engineering a system that achieve all three simultaneously is the ultimate challenge. Why is this so urgent? Because our adversaries are no longer just human eyes. They are automated digital carriers and the continuously monitored by advanced AI-driven statistical and the visual steganography tools designed especially to detect mathematical signature of hidden data. The high-stake application domain like healthcare and telemedicine. Um, for example, a, a hospital needs a transmit highly sensitive patient health record, biometric signature, or the identity data through a public network. They can embed this data directly into a medical ultrasonography video files. If the steganography framework is weak, a hacker could intercept it, corrupt the patient data, or detect the transmission loading to massive and branches the compliance failure. We need a system that can bypass a network the flawless. Next slide is the scope of the research. In scope of the research, to systematically address these complex challenges, this review establishes a highly structured scope. First one is media domain. It does not limit itself to one media type. It conducts a cross-domain investigation covering text, image, audio and video steganography techniques. And the second one is the lecture depth. To ensure the highest academic and the technical depth, the author filtered and selected selected 15 pioneering high impact core research paper published recently for the uh, rigorous evaluation. The third one is quantitative parameter analysis. The paper break down the performance of these methodologies using quantitative parameter analysis, tracking strict mathematical metrics for the robustness and capacity. In threat metrics, the crowning achievement of this research scope is the development of a unified threat metrics framework. This framework catalogs 10 distinct security attack vectors, regaining from the statistical analysis to signal distortion and map them directly to their corresponding engineering defense strategies. The next slide is the lecture review. The core technical finding of the lecture review, and the lecture divided embedding technique into two primary methodologies, spatial domain and the transform domain. In the spatial domain, modification are made directly to the raw pixel or raw audio sample. Classic example of LSB, less significant bit subtraction, where the last bit of a pixel color value is swapped with a payload bit. This method is mathematically simple and the computationally very fast. However, it has a massive weakness. It is highly vulnerable to noise and compression. To counter this, researchers developed the transform domain, where the cover media is first converted into a frequency coefficient using mathematical algorithm like uh, discrete cosine transform, a discrete wavelet transform. The data is hidden inside this frequency coefficient because it modifies the frequency mapping when the file undergoes logi compression. It hidden data remain the perfectly intact and the undamaged. Let's look the noticeable technique milestone evaluation in table of the paper. First one is LSB Hamming coding. They achieve and the accepted visible fidelity of the 65.29 dB PSNR using error correction code at the pixel level, significantly increase operational and computational uh, complexity. Second one is the LSB law reference. A multi-level encryption, since using LSB value difference method, they manage a hit a stunning 69.14 dB PSNR while successfully hiding a 16 KB payload, proving that the smart encryption superior to embedding maximum security. Moving to the modern AI frameworks, uh, it proposed the coverless video steganography instead of the modifying any pixel. This method analyzes dynamic interframe similarity to map data because no pixel change. It is 100% immune. It is 100% immune to standard pixel based statistical test. However, it is a structural flow. It failed completely if an attacker introducing a frame uh, repetition on the dropping attack, frame repetition or frame dropping attack. Deep learning pipeline using DNN with the preparation hiding the revealer loops. It provides incredible structure accuracy, but training this method and running them introduces sustained processing latency. Uh, Combined fuzzy logic with neural network hitting an unparalleled peak fidelity rating of 91 dB. It required an impractical 13-second embedding time, making it completely useless for a real life video streaming or live communication. And next, evolution matrix and methodology. Now come to the methodology, evaluation matrix, especially how scientists mathematically evaluate whether a steganography system is success or not. We use the three sets of metrics: the fidelity and robustness and the capacity. In fidelity metrics, measure visual or auditory quality. We use PSNR. PSNR means peak signal to noise ratio. In data hiding, PSNR value of 40 dB or higher is called a golden standard. It mathematically proved that the changes are completely invisible to the human eye. We also track mean square error, which measure the mathematical deviance between original and modification pixel. This must approach zero. Additionally, structure similarity index check if the structural texture and the luminance of the video images remain uniform, where a perfect match equal exactly one. We talk about the robustness matrix, which uh, in robustness matrix, which tests the integrity of data retrieval. If an attacker tampers with network, uh, can we still attract the masses? We track bit error rate If a system extracts the hidden message flawlessly without a single bit flipping, the BER reads exactly 0. We also use the normalized cross and correlations and the ZNCC to measure the exact mathematical similarity between the original secret payload and the exact data, where the ideal target may be one, ideal target is 1. And the last, we evaluate the capacity statistical matrix. The capacity ratio calculates the percentage of carrier bits actively holding the secret payload. A ratio of 50% or higher without breaking visual threshold is highly desirable. Metrics like entropy test, the statistical breaking visual threshold is highly desirable, and randomness of the file and encryption and entropy value higher than 7 ensure that automated staganolysis tool cannot uh, distinguish between a normal file or a data carrying file. We also check the maximum mean discrepancy to verify the overall probability distribution of Stego object perfectly match the original cover file. Now review the attack vector and defenses. In this slide, the critical result of the paper focusing on the threat matrix, the 10 attack vector and their engineering defenses. Uh, First, we look the mathematical and the vision-based threat. First one is the chi-square attack. This is a devastating statistical attack. The first one is the chi-square attack. This is a devastating statistical attack. It maps the frequency and anomalies of pixel distribution to detect if LSB swapping and occurs. The defense against this is to use the adaptive and non-sequential uniform embedding pipelines. Instead of hiding data linearity from pixel 1 to 100, we scatter the data randomly using a pseudo random key. And the second one is the visual attack. In visual attack, attackers apply extreme constant enhancement, pixel zooming, or its filter to visually expose the anomalies. The defense here is strictly bounding all pixel modification completely below the human and the digital per conceptual threshold. And the third one is the structural attack. This in structural attack, this exploit the inconsistencies across the spatial layout, and the defense is the maintaining the original multidimensional coordinate structure of the carrying during embedding. Now move to the single processing. Now move to the signal processing and transmission threat. Compression attack. In compression attack, as I explained earlier, codes like JPEG and MPEG compress video by dropping the unneeded data, which usually destroy hidden payload. The ultimate defense is moving away from the special domain and applying transform domain coefficient like DCT and DWT combined with the data retency layer. Even if compress occurs, the frequency mathematics remain stable. Geometrically attack In geometrical attack, this occurs when an attacker intentionally rotate, crop, or scale a video frame to break the spatial synchronization of the hidden data. To defense against this, we must embedded data adaptively try to geometric invariants, mathematical point in a file that do not change even if the file is rotated. And last one, the noise attack. In noise attack, environmental channel interference can inject destroyer like salt and pepper or the sprinkly noise. Sprinkly noise. This defense is integrating powerful error collection codes (ECC) like Hamming code or read Solomon algorithm directly into the payload pipelines. It allows the receiver to mathematically reconstruct and corrupted bit automatically. And the next slide is the standard benchmark database. Standard benchmark database. To validate these defenses and ensure scientific accuracy, researchers must benchmark their algorithm against a standard global database rather than random internet files. This paper evaluates the four most universal accepted repositories. For image steganography, the standard benchmark are the BOSSbase and the BOWS2. These repositories provide exactly 10,000 highly structured and uncompressed the grayscale image metrics, which are the perfect to testing the statistical variations. For audio steganography, researcher utilize TIMIT, which is a phonetically balanced space corpus, and the Mution, which contain and the extensive mix compressed music, spoken word, and the ambitious noise frequency to test the robustness against background sound. For video steganography, which is the primary focus, the benchmarks are the UCF uh, uh, 101 and the SMDB 51. UCF 101 contains over 13,000 real world highly dynamic action video clip, while the HMDB 51 offer complex human motion data sets. This provides insane frame variation, making them the making them making them the ultimate test of the video in perception in perception in perceptibility. And the last is the text steganography. In the Iran email detection, lastly last one is text steganography. The Iran email dataset is the global gold standard, providing a massive database of real world corporate organizational string structure. And now come to the conclusion and the future direction. To conclude, steganography has transitioned from an ancient historical trick into an essential, highly sophisticated invisible shield for modern data privacy. However, the cybersecurity landscape is an arms race. As your data hiding technique advanced, automated, intelligent, and steganolisis detection perform are also becoming the smarter. To stay ahead of attacks, this paper outlined the three strategies future research then advanced AI integration. We must move away for the manual handcrafted algorithm and heavily leverage deep neural network and generative adversarial networks. This will allow to system to self-learn and dynamically choose the safest area in a video file to the data height autonomously. Second one is the next generation lightweight architecture. With the explosion in the Internet of Things and the high-speed 5G and 6G networks, we need to optimize this heavy mathematical algorithm into lightweight embedding engines that can run smoothly and low power edge devices in real time. And the next, blockchain and the standardization. We must explore integrating a decentralized blockchain protocol of the verified data execution logs without exposing the hidden data channel. The global community must formulate the universally accepted the centralized benchmarking suited to the great security system informally. And this is my presentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention for watching this video. If you have any question, thought, or feedback about steganography review, please drop up please drop your comment in comment section.